Good evening, good afternoon, good day, depending on where you are in the world. Hope you're all doing well today. Welcome back to Davenport, Iowa on our epic cross country. That was a little louder than I was hoping it would be, so we'll adjust that. Anyway, I keep hitting too many wrong buttons. All right. Hope everyone's doing well. I know a lot of folks are watching Ailerons into the Wind and his wonderful stream down in the islands, going to Puerto Rico even. But we're going to continue on as planned because, well, that's what we do. Hope everyone is well. We're here. I'm going to repeat myself. We're here in Davenport, Iowa. We're heading up to Des Moines, and then finishing off in Lincoln, Nebraska. Yeah, I need a fan. It's kind of warm. All right. So, yes, planes and flying and stuff. We're again in the Cessna 172. We're running live weather. Time is about, what time is it? Reading about 6:56 a.m. in the sim. Let's see, Wayland Utani is here. Good evening to you as well. 99 is here. Good evening and happy Easter. Draco is in. Good to see you. Happy Easter, says Catback. Happy Easter to you as well. Happy Easter to Draco. Viper Strike is in. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. This runway looks like it has an AstroTurf as a surface. Maybe? They all looked paved to me. Rosen is in. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. The tunage is real. Glad you're enjoying it. Draco's first flight in the Arrow. Nice. The Just Flight or the Coronado. Two-Tone Murphy is here. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying flying along with Stuart. Shuffle Shoes is here. Good to see you. So, I've mentioned on Discord about maybe keeping this a bit more by the... as Ailerons in the Wind is now rating. And Goblin has subscribed at Tier 1 for 3 months. Many thanks, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for the raid, Ailerons. Much appreciado. The Carinado one, Draco. Nice. Glad to have you along. So, big change as far as keeping more by the book. Still not 100% by the book, but much more by the book than the normal casual flying. Today, we're actually on VATSIM. I know, right? It's odd. But the area currently that we're going to be flying today is non-controlled airspace, so at most we might have to worry about center, but that's not looking like a thing, which is great. So we'll be good to go. Kingsman's here, Stuart's here. We've come to pillage you. I stand to be pillaged. Big Tone 66 is here. Test Pilot 72, Ben McClure, Allison Johnson, Kingsman, Sydney, OSB. They're all here. The gang is all here, my friends. Afternoon, Splasher 6. Hope you're well. Oh, I didn't. I didn't update those. Give me 1 second and I can. We are going VOR to VOR, so bear that in mind. I need to update a couple of things with the bots and the commands and stuff. Flight plan. Paste. Confirm. Let's get in here. This. Come on. Give me the right thing. Thank you. And then plane. Edit this one. And paste and confirm. Aha! So commands should be up to date. Give them a shot. Happy Easter, Jay Winokur. We are mosquitoes and training to be fireflies. So yeah, we're on VATSIM. We're running on the network because, well, I need to spend more time, and as sort of a way to be more by the book, we'd be on radio and we'd be talking to people. So we're here. We won't be running the FSATC chatter. I think I'm having some CTD issues with it. So that's kind of a bummer. I really like it, but it seems to be causing an issue. Okay, so we're... Okay, throttle is cracked. Set our pitch trim for takeoff. Fuel cutoff is open. Parking brake is set. Sound is unmuted. We're going to make sure that our altimeter setting is right. We're going to double check that. Battery, alternator and battery master switches on. Beacon is activated. I'll be running X-Plane 11 and C-172 by airfoil. Nice. So Ailerons will be with us for sure, but he'll be in a different sim, as Allison Johnson is now hosting the stream. Many thanks, Allison. And I'm not getting sound. Why am I not? There we go. Now we can hear Flight Sim. Alright, so mags are both. Clear prop. We want to make sure that the engine is idling between 900 and 1000 RPM. While we get ready, avionics come on, nav lights come on, and sure, we'll turn the taxi lights on. Now, on network, our Unicom procedures say that we go to 122.8 on our comm radio. So we're going to do that. So we're walking and talking. Well, we're talking and squawking. We're squawking VFR. Now, for the sake of it, again, much like last week, we're going to be running Nav1 off the GPS. So that's going to be following the routes. That's going to automatically go directly to the VORs as I've planned it. But we'll use Nav2 to kind of demonstrate the VOR navigation settings and how to set it up. So our first VOR is going to be the IOW, which is at a frequency of 116.2. So we're going to switch over to Nav2, 116.2. We're going to activate that. We're going to put TNU as a backup, and that's 112.5. And then we want to set our nav2 to 265 degrees. So we're going to, at least as close as we can get, 24, 25, 26. 122.8 and 1200. Are we at Kevin? KDVN, yes. Davenport, Iowa. So I'll put this little guy on, if Windows will let me, on the screen for a moment so you can kind of get an idea of where exactly we're going. Of course, I just kind of took it off the screen, but whatever. So, the flight plans are available on Discord in a handy-dandy zip file. It includes the little text file that I've done up so that you too can follow along and you have the basic nav information that I've done up. So we're gonna at least get turned around. Oh, he went from the Airfoil Labs PA-28 to, or C-172, now he's in a PA-28. He couldn't resist. Alright, so since we're going to be taxiing and we're at Davenport, we're going to call on the radio and tell who we are, or we're going to say who we're talking to, who we are, where we are, and what we're going to do. So it kind of sounds something like this, and don't take this as verbatim. This is simply my basic way of remembering what I've heard my grandpa do for eons and what little flight training I've got. So let's see, Davenport traffic, Cessna 6947 Echo at the south ramp, taxiing to the active, or takeoff to, or departure to the west at Davenport. Now, I need to remember which runway we are going, so I'm going to tune to COM2, and I need to figure out what the frequencies are. So one of the wonderful things about some of this, I can go in here and I see, okay, so the ASOS here is 119.55. So on COM2, I can tune my radio to 119.55. Switch it, and if I why is that not doing its thing? Oh, that's DSM. Haha! So we need find the ATIS for our current waypoint. Ah, there you go, 121.75. So we'll adjust the radio. 120. 175.
Kilo Delta Victor,
there we go.
Automated weather observation 1200 Zulu. Wind 141 at 19er. Visibility 10. Sky condition. View clouds at 1,200 feet. View clouds at 4,200 feet. View clouds at 12,100 feet. Temperature 24C dew point. 10C altimeter tree 010. Kilo Delta Victor November automated weather observation 1200 Zulu. Wind 141 at 19er.
So winds are 141 at 19 knots. So we're going to taxi to runway 15.
View clouds at 1,200 feet. View clouds at 4,200 feet. View clouds at 12,100 feet.
Disable COM2. So Davenport traffic, Cessna 6947 Echo, taxiing to runway 15 from the south ramp at Davenport. So we're going to meander our way to the runway. I'm going to make a right-hand turn here. We'll pretend that didn't happen. So we're getting ready to cross a... Once we hit the hold short line crossing this runway, we'll activate our strobe lights just for visibility. Eyes on the floor, always... I don't worry about that. He was in my way and he shouldn't have been there. Okay, we're taxiing close. We have our strobe lights on so that we can be seen by other traffic. Now, I don't see another hold short line, so we're far enough off the runway that we'll just turn them off. The horror. The horror. And we're getting a sound bud. You want your taxi should be at a brisk walking pace. It shouldn't be very quick. And we're seeing, you know, text notifications of air traffic on VATSIM instead of them doing voice calls. We're just doing voice because, well, we can. We've got our flight plan filed with VATSIM saying we're going to Des Moines, Iowa. So we're at the hold short line. We'll turn our landing light on, taxi light off, strobe lights on. And we'll make our call. It shouldn't be very fast. I say brisk walk, and I've seen some people walk very briskly. So we're at the runway. We're going to announce our takeoff, saying we're going to be, what weather are you running? I have live weather. If you're having issues loading into live weather, start with clear skies when you load in, and then once you're on the ramp, then switch to live, and that might help. That's just nice green grass. So, yeah, we're on live weather. So, we're at the runway. What we're going to do, while we're sitting here, we're going to check for traffic coming in or out. We see no approaching traffic. We're going to scoot up a little bit to get an eye to see if there's any on the runway. There is, but they're not on network. Yep. So we're going to announce our departure.
Davenport traffic, go with the Tango Approach, taxiing and runway.
Cruising altitude will be 4,500 feet. Davenport traffic, Cessna 6947 Echo departing runway 15 at Davenport, departure to the west at Davenport. So we've got our takeoff trim set up.
Davenport traffic.
We can hear ailerons. Now, you can't land in this area, and
Davenport
typically we
traffic.
shouldn't
Golf
be
Whiskey
on it.
Tango Alpha Foxtrot. Holding short, returning to departing Cessna. We'll be departing via west. Davenport.
And for some reason, it's showing ailerons as a Airbus. That's kind of funny. So there's 55 knots, so we're putting a notch of flaps down. Take off very flat. Steve Solo's in. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, 24 Celsius. It's pretty warm in parts of the U.S. right now. So we're maintaining runway heading. Feet AGL, so we'll put the flaps up.
Davenport traffic, Piper Golf Whiskey Tango Alpha Foxtrot, lining up runway.
So we're going to do a quick turn before we get into the Class C airspace of Quad City. I gotta see over here if model matching.
Davenport traffic, Piper Golf Whiskey Tango Alpha Foxtrot, rolling runway 15, flying to the west. Davenport.
TDM's a little much for this trip, but fair play. Yeah, I don't know why it's showing ailerons in a... I have to work on the model matching for V-Pilot.
Davenport traffic, Golf Whiskey Tango Alpha Foxtrot, declaring emergency, environmental failure, landing runway 15, turn back.
So we're going to go ahead and proceed on course. So AP on, we want 500 feet a minute climb, we want nav mode. Oh dear. Aileron's head and engine failure. That's not good. Looks like V-Pilot's not playing nice. So it's all kind of new, and I'm still getting in, relearning a lot of things. So bear that in mind and show me a little bit of patience with the learning stuff. I'm going to try to keep it interesting. I need to do some dangerous stuff. What's your flight plan? Flight plan is for this first leg. All right, should be good. Good to go. We are on the network. We're squawking, walking, and talking. Now we can see that we've already caught the first VOR, which is IOW, and we're a little off course, but that's because we couldn't dial it in 100% to where it should be. That's a Microsoft. That's a flight sim problem. That's something that I can't adjust. Or if I can, I haven't figured it out. So we're on network. So we're talking to ATC. We're flying VOR to VOR, and we're on our way over the great state of Iowa. Should be, there's the Thunderflies going. We're about at our cruising altitude. Dangerous Brian is in. Dude, your machine flying today. Glad to have you along, though. Oh, it doesn't show up because of glare. There, that works. So we should be at cruising altitude now, which puts us clear of the Class C airspace of Quad City Airfield, so we're going to dial back our power a little bit. So we're going to put that at 25. I'm going to start adjusting our mixture for cruise. War Hamsters in, evening just loading it to nice. Well, you're with the right hooligans. Happy Easter to you as well, 6 knots. Glad to have you along for the flight. So we've got our, there's the Thunderflies again. Okay. So yeah, we're doing. I do this stuff to be a bit more by the book, at least one day a week, because not only do I think it's interesting, and you all have quite provided some nice feedback saying that you'd like to see more either by the book or about what I was doing. And I don't plan on doing like super hardcore stuff, but doing stuff like getting on the network and, you know, trying to use live weather and so on. It's important to me because it helps me stay away from bad habits for when I start getting into real flight training. Because the worst thing you can do is go into flight training with bad habits.
Board traffic. Golf Whiskey Tango Romeo Tango, Cirrus, taking off runway 21. Departure to the south. 7 board traffic.
That's really loud, so we gotta fix that. Which is easy enough. Turn that to V-Pilot and... So we're doing fun things, and it gives everybody a glimpse into it, because a lot of people that use VATSIM are generally, there's a lot of airline pilots that use the network, and you don't see a lot of GA people using it. And honestly, GA is the bread and butter of aviation in general. Kozaki Flyer, the phone woke me up just lurking today. No worries, Kozaki, just glad to have you along in the chat. No worries if you can't fly today. It is Easter. Brian's all done preparing for Allison's 15-hour flight. So yeah, no, it's new and interesting things, because it's, you know, I don't want to develop bad habits and then go to resume my flight training in real life and not realize I've made a bunch of bad habits and have to redo a lot of the training that I have done. How do you prepare for a 15-hour flight? Lots of snacks, lots of gas, and a really good flight plan. And lots of coffee. Got about 6 of them today. Yep, we got 6 Thunderflies with us. Lots of sleep before the day before, 100%. The last thing you want to do is try to do a 15-hour flight and on no sleep. That would be absolutely awful. Draco asks, what exactly is VATSIM? VATSIM is basically a virtual air traffic control. So they run center, tower, approach, ground. Anything you'd find in the real world, they do that sort of thing. It's not full coverage like the real world is necessarily, at least at all times, but it's basically a way to, you know, talk to the tower like I was talking on a Unicom, where I was uncontrolled. I can see on my TCAS in the SR-20. Nice. It's a nice, VATSIM's a nice bit of immersion, and VATSIM, as far as
7 board traffic, Cirrus, Golf Whiskey Tango Romeo Tango, last call, flying to the south, 7 board.
VATSIM is...
correction, flying to the west, 7 board.
It's great. It's probably the most forgiving for new users of the ATC networks. There's Pilot Edge. They're very hardcore. They treat it like the real thing. VATSIM has a tendency to still treat it realistically, but they're more forgiving and sorry word. They balance it as still being a hobby, flight simming. So how do they through the V-Pilot program for flight sim, and it uses Sim Connect. It works a lot like JoinFS does, just a different network. So when I'm running vPilot, which is this program, this allows me to connect, but it also transmits the data from my sim to their service. Yes. So a lot like JoinFS, you can be in FSX, Prepared, X-Plane, this, and you're going to see pilots from other sims, and you're going to see others. You know, ideally you're not going to be on network and running online the online multiplayer in Flight Sim. Otherwise you kind of get a double airplane kind of effect if you're both in both. Something else to get to know, you'll hear, the guy you've been hearing, that's Ailerons Into the Wind. He's flying a Cirrus. He took off out of Davenport, and he's been making calls. And you can send text messages to other pilots. I still don't remember how to do that properly. It's not a feature I use a lot.
647 Echo, this is Golf Whiskey Tango Alpha Fox. Correction, Golf Whiskey Tango Romeo for Tango. What's your current distance to India Oscar Whiskey?
Current distance is 21 nautical miles indicated. But yeah, I'll hear, like, that's Stuart, and I just talked to him.
Roger on the distance. We're currently distanced at 34 nautical miles, but we're pushing 140 knots through Air 152. See you soon. Golf Whiskey Tango Romeo.
See you soon, 47 Echo. So he's about 14 nautical miles behind us. He had an engine failure on takeoff and had to return to the field. Hopefully this time he doesn't show as an airliner.
November 235 Romeo Mike, radio check.
Loud and clear, 235 Romeo Mike. Drago, he's in X-Plane.
Roger, and thank you, 235 Romeo Mike.
So yeah, it's really kind of cool. And I couldn't, 235 Romeo Mike, that's Murph. I don't know what sim he's in, but he's flying along as well on network. And if you go to, I'm going to put this in the chat because it's important. Using this, you can track people on that sim. Okay, so Murph is in Microsoft Flight Sim in a 182, so we may see a double of him, given that I'm running the multiplayer. If he's running the multiplayer, I may see double. If he's offline in the Microsoft servers, then I'll only see one of him. That is the Cedar River we just passed over. Nice. Cruise altitude is indicating 4,500 feet. I'm going to double check my barometer, or my altimeter. Okay, so my altimeter was, my altimeter setting is 3004 currently, ailerons. 99, I can see Murph behind, so that tells me Murph's still on the multiplayer, which is fine. It just means that I may see him twice. we're going to get this out of the way. It's worth looking into because I like the ATC chatter app, because that gives me the immersion of hearing ATC without needing to talk to them. That sim's a nice immersion tool because that helps me practice my radio calls to make sure that I'm not sounding like an idiot. Granted, that's hard for me to do in general, but it's going to transfer over to real world, because that means I'm going to be able to sound like I know what I'm doing when I go to resume my flight training. Dragon 40th is in. Howdy guys, how's it going? Just got home from flying. Nice.
November 23 Romeo Mike, this is Sirius Golf Whiskey Tango Romeo Tango.
Not sure why that's not picking, my mixer is not picking up.
November 235 Romeo Mike, go ahead.
November 23 Romeo Mike, just be advised we're on your 6th level.
I'm using the wrong, I was using the wrong thing.
Roger, I have a visual on you, 235 Romeo Mike.
So now the V-Pilot's on Fader 7. There we go. Now it shouldn't be blasting like the t-shirt. Nice. Yes, this is the Maritime Horrors t-shirt based for Azimuth's YouTube channel, Maritime Horrors. He just released another video today on the vessel that was accidentally irradiated by the Castle Bravo detonation in the Bikini Atoll. It's actually a really neat and interesting video. I got a way to overlay your aircraft onto SkyVector and use it as a moving map, so nice. You'll have to PM me that stuff after the stream there, Murph. That sounds awesome. Azimuth does a phenomenal job with maritime history stuff, and I love having him on the channel, on the stream. I agree 100% with that, Dragon. I love Navigraph, it's very helpful, but having map be a VFR sectional would be huge. SJ Fly 2 is in. Hey there, but dropping on soon for a little. No worries, glad you stopped by at all. Chilled Corky is just spawned in. Awesome. Many thanks, dude. I'll check that after the stream. He really is Kingsman. He's a good dude. He's a great friend. So anything I can do to help promote his channel, I'll do it. I use ForeFlight most of the time as it works more seamlessly with... Yeah. ForeFlight's great, but for someone like me who, at least at the moment, only can do flight simming, it's too much. Navigraph is great. It's not good for... You can't use it for real-world flying, but that's where ForeFlight would come in. It's an expense that I can't do right now. If I can get back into flying real, then that might change. Yeah. Not to say that this isn't worth the price, it's just, it all depends on your situation and what you're going to use it for. I'm thinking about investing in a decent laptop to run flight sim in the coming months. Any suggestions? That's a loaded question. I would look at some of the suggestions from Jay's 2 Cents or Bitwit or Awesome Hardware. They do our hardware unboxes, another good channel. Look at them. I couldn't say anything right off the top of my head. My knowledge of laptops is pretty small league stuff. Turner Schmossman is in. Good evening to you. Happy Easter. I'm doing well, and I hope you're doing well as well. Nice. As you flight 2, the only reason for flight is applicable to flight sim is if you already own a copy of For Real Flying. For flight is period for it is, no, and that's just it. For flight simming only, not worth it. It's way too expensive. You're going to want Navigraph. For flight for, ooh, we got a Corsair. For flight for doing both makes a lot more sense. Ah, you're on a laptop. HP Pavilion, nice. There go the Thunderflies. So realistically, I can go to that link of VATaware, and we have a Delta Airlines 73 flying overhead, going from JFK to Salt Lake City. I can see 235 Romeo Mike in a C700. So that tells me it's saying Murph's in a CRJ. And then it shows Golf Whiskey Tango Romeo in an SR-20. I have two 235 Romeo Mikes. One's in an A320, one's in a C700. Interesting. Joe Corky with the continuing of a gift sub they got from 2-Tone Morphe. Many thanks, dude. Ailerons, are you seeing him in a 182 or are you seeing him in the CRJ? Yeah, the Thunderflies, they keep getting better and better at what they do. Look at the beautiful state. Iowa's a pretty place. Ah, okay. So, Murph going for gusto and flying the CRJ. Nicely done, gents. So, you can kind of get to spy on the VAT Simmers as Dougal McTavish is in. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. Even if you are in your sick bed. Well, cheer up, my friend. You're in good company. Oh, Citation X. I got a 320 behind me. Interesting. IOW is a VOR. We cannot land at a VOR. So we're just over the VOR, which you can see down in the field below us. So there's the VOR of IOW. Desert T Arab is in. Good to see you, my dude. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the flight. It's going to be the one that's like €8.30 a month. That's just for like the Navigator charts and nav data for flight sim. I don't have an exact link at the moment. All good things, busy day with kids, and I got some time. I'm doing well, spending Easter Sunday with the Fireflies. Wondering what happened to my music. There you go, the Thunderflies doing Thunderfly things. It's frustrating. It does have a subscription-based service. I would totally buy if I was if it was a buying-based model. Well, the thing of it is, Navigraph is subscription-based because the nav data gets updated like every 21 days. So they constantly are updating everything, and that's why it's more of a subscription-based service as opposed to a buy once and you're done. Do you happen to have your that sim set up and whatnot on your Discord? I'd like to get that set up. I'm not sure what you mean. Basically, all I did was I went to the VATSIM website, signed up, went through their training, downloaded the right thing, and Bob's your uncle. Do you live on your own? Yes, I do. Technically. I do share a duplex, so it's a house with 2 apartments, one on one floor, one on another floor, and my dad lives upstairs in his own space. I live downstairs in my own space. That's correct, Draco. With the exception of vPilot, vPilot's the only thing you really need to download, and then you configure it, with your headset and all that. I could see them integrating it directly into Flight Sim at some point, but don't quote me on that. Yeah, so Murph's showing up as a CRJ, and then Ailerons is in a Cirrus, and then here's me in a 172. That's kind of funny. I would like to think that would be brilliant. Yeah, it would, and as far as I remember, VATSIM officially partnered with Flight Sim, so in a realistic fashion, I don't see why they couldn't, but who knows. The worst thing about being sick is getting... I can imagine, my friend. I can't imagine what you're going through, but I'm just glad you're still around and hanging out with us. If I can kind of stave off the withdrawals for you a little bit, I'm happy to do so. Do my part, as it were. Okay, so we did pass that first VOR, so we need to switch to the next VOR. Which, why did that close off? So we need to set to 227 degrees. Put it at 2.3 because that's going to be close, but we're not picking up the frequency yet. So it's going to show as just default with the bar because that just indicates that we're not picking up a VOR currently, so we're not going to or from anything until the NAV2 radio picks up the signal from that VOR. And since we're here, we're going to make sure we tune into the next one, which the VOR after TNU will be DSM at frequency of 117.5. So we have that set and ready to go in our NAV2 radio, so that when we pass over the TNU VOR, we'll switch over frequencies, rotate this to the right heading, and then we'll intercept that VOR. And then it'll be practically a straight shot into Des Moines. Beautiful weather, though. Can't complain about that at all. I made a try 100 for the Corsair. Nice. So we're going to be flying over Montezuma, and we haven't even left Iowa. How about that? There seems to be a bit of a crosswind. Yeah, a little bit. I'll take this weather for early April. We've had some snowstorms of late. Yeah, same thing with Michigan, dude. It'll be in, we've had snowstorms in July. It's very rare, but it's happened. So, you know, mid-60s into the 70s in, you know, early April, I'm okay with that. Kingsman, I couldn't wish my daughter, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. SJ Fly says we had snow in Ohio yesterday. Ooh. I'm sure your daughter knows, Kingsman. I'm sure your daughter knows, though. Ailerons, I'm in the same boat, Kings. You need to, yeah. Yeah, what Stu said. As there's the Thunderflies. Nicely done. Yeah, best, if anyone ever needs to talk, the best way to contact me is through Discord. I don't get Twitch whispers very easily, and I don't really get them on my phone as much, but Discord is your best bet of getting a hold of me at any time. We had snow here for about 5 minutes last week. Proper weird, yeah. That's yeah, I know exactly what that's like. I do like that yellow paint color. Well, thanks. It is a recreation from Sir Blackulot of my grandfather's airplane. Except his airplane was a Cessna 175A Skylark as opposed to a 172. But it is a beautiful job. Ew. Why am I hearing thunder? I shouldn't be hearing thunder. So I'm gonna double check our altimeter. Ooh, pressure's dropped quite a bit. So we were in the 30s in inches of mercury. Now we're down to 29 or 89. So I think we're getting close to a low, an atmospheric low pressure system. Well, I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. That makes me happy. I wanted to be able to share it with everyone because the paint job has a lot of meaning to me personally, and to be able to share that with folks is just means a lot. Let's see, where's the air pressure? Pressure and okay, so Des Moines. Okay, so yeah, getting into a little bit of a low pressure area. It's fine. UPS 1287, SDF, approaching Dave. Some of the waypoints that there are, the nav waypoints and intersects or whatever you want to call them, are just hilarious. They're just absolutely amusing to me. Yeah, Gibbo did find Murph earlier. You got your very own waypoint. Alright, so does the G1000 heading bug still only move it? They haven't fixed it yet, and that applies even to the steam gauges too, unfortunately. Murph's asking if he's still showing as a CRJ. Let me check where. There's me. It says you're at 3,000 feet, 235 Romeo Mike. Speed 131 knots. And that you're en route. Although you don't have, it is showing you as a C700 in VATSIM. Let's see, there's SR20, CR. Now I have you as a 182. Okay, now I have you as a 182 at 3,000 feet. So you should be at 4,500 feet there, Murph. We're heading west, so we should be at an even numbered 1,000 foot plus 500 for VFR. Did you say that one piece of software is called Victor? It's Victor Pilot, so V Pilot. And Chicago Center's back online. We don't want to talk to them. We don't need to talk to them. So yeah, so we're on V Pilot, Victor Pilot. He shows a 182 to me, also 2868 feet. There's a Forky airway. Nice. That is my airway. I lay claim to it and consider it mine. I have to go. Really enjoyed the stream, and I will see you soon. You take care, Ben McClure. Happy Easter, and we'll catch you on Discord and Murph's next stream. Altimeter seems out. I'm using Rex and the Sim, but have Kevok conditions. Interesting. Yeah, I'm strictly running the default live weather in Microsoft Flight Sim, giving it a shot, and so far it's holding up today. So we're chugging right along, about 115-ish, or well, 110-ish, like 110-ish knots. Oh, mother! Hello. That's a lot of planes. I put a spicy weather with some storms in here. Nice. Night Owl says Murph on Rex. Clear skies, great weather. Interesting. We're gonna turn that down just a little bit. That's a little bit loud. Okay, so Davenport, they're... At some point we're going to want to drop to 2,000 feet to stay under Class C airspace. But their ATIS is 119.55, so we might be able to get might be able to pick that up soon. So we're gonna go in here.
Des Moines Airport information, Whiskey 1200 Zulu, line 212 at 16. Visibility, tree. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,000 feet, few clouds at 4,000 feet, few clouds at 12,100 feet. Temperature, 16. Dew point, 10. Altimeter 29.84. Visual runway 23 in use. Landing and departing runway 23. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Whiskey.
Over to Uni, 834 ABC.
Information Whiskey 1200 Zulu.
So we're definitely going to be running on. We're going to be, for sure, landing on runway 23. We're going to go ahead and start descending to 2,000 feet so that we stay below the Class C airspace of Des Moines. Need to stay at least 2,000 because the bottom of the outer ring of the Class C airspace of Des Moines is 2,200 feet. So we're going to stay below that so we don't have to talk to center. So we want vertical speed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to bring that to power so we don't overspeed. Allison Johnson is on the ground at DSM. We'll fly the next leg with you all. Roger that, Allison. We'll see you when we get there. We're getting close. I bought the Aerolite 103 yesterday. Great for slow sightseeing flights. Yes. I may actually delete TNU. Okay, so DSM, we want to do. We're going to do that. We're going to let's see, viewer trans. I just want to know how far away we are. Okay. Okay, so we'll do it this way. There's a storm right overhead, it seems. Interesting. So much for sleep, putting up the sim. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a flight plan adjustment to just go direct to DSM. DSM. So we're just calling it audible with it. InSim Thunder has thunder and lightning and windsock near the horizontal 2025. Interesting. Sounds like a sporty landing. We're still working on descending to 2,000. It's being bounced over in X-Plane 11. Wow. Look at that. Don't see that every day. As they all collided with each other. Ugh. All right, so we're gonna stay. We're about 2,500 feet, or well, about 2,000 feet. That puts us underneath the outer ring of the Class C airspace, so we're not gonna have to worry about talking to Chicago Center at all. Even though Chicago Center is just outside of the Des Moines, Iowa, or well, Des Moines, Iowa is just outside of Chicago Center, but that's still, there's that outer ring to worry about. Oh no, they didn't actually do it, but it certainly looked that way. Allie, we're actually on that sim. Merwaz is here. Good to see you. Hope you're well. So we're just keeping an eye on things. Going pretty well. Just doing some flying across the country over Iowa. When I have that some set up, I'm joining. No worries. There's the wonderful Firefly, Thunderflies even. Weather is getting a bit cloudier. And remember, we're going to be landing on runway 23. Because last we heard the winds, that's what the winds were doing.
Des Moines Airport information, Whiskey 1300 Zulu. Line 190 and 29er. Visibility 10. Sky conditions.
I wonder if the Long Easy could do a U.S. crossing in one hop. I mean, not without fuel stops, but probably.
Temperature 27. Dew point 10. Altimeter 29er.8. ILS runway 13 in use. Landing and departing runway 13. VFR aircraft.
Just imagine if that brake was real. Epic, incredibly expensive. And Hammy had a CTD. Oh no. Incredibly epic and expensive indeed, Hammy. Alright, so it shows me receiving on COM 2. So I wonder. gotta look something up. VATSIM related. Flew out nights last night. Oh, you did the air race. Interesting. Was it thundering and lightning in the sim? It is. It certainly is. Ooh, ailerons with a crash. New York to San Francisco is only 2230 miles, so according to Sky Vector, and you didn't do much for that. Oh, fair enough. Okay, so that's not helpful. Yeah, I didn't need to put it. It's kind of inserting it all on its own at this point. I really should have trusted my flight planning. But oh well. No. Aha, gotcha. Roger. I'm tracking like an 8-track. I'm sharp as a donut. TSM, correct. We're about just shy of 40 miles, nautical miles from Des Moines, KDSM. Okay, so I wonder if I set this to 120, 350. Roger that, Brian. 120, 350. See what happens. I'm on the ground. They're holding short of 23.
Guys, 5380. I have your flight plan now. I'll get your clearance momentarily.
Oh yeah. So that what you just heard was Chicago Center, which we're currently flying in their airspace. They're on my COM2 channel, so I'm not going to transmit to them, but monitoring it, I can hear what's going on. The only instrument I can play in real life is the beer belly. And the low fuel light just came on, but we still have 16 gallons, so we'll fill up, reload the flight plan when we get to Des Moines. So when we're about 15 miles out from the airport, what we're going to do is we're going to call up to the UNICOM and say, Des Moines traffic, Cessna 6947 Echo, as Alex Sheehan 45 is now found. Many thanks, dude. Hope you enjoy the flight. It's getting a little gray, but that's all right. Thanks for coming along. So we'll call up Des Moines traffic. We'll say Des Moines traffic, Cessna 6947 Echo. Is
5380 cleared to O'Hare International Airport. Radar vectors Lenny, Ernie 7, or correction, radar vectors Lenny then has filed. Maintain 5,000, expect 10,000, 1 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 120.35.
Okay, now that I can hear myself over Chicago Center, we'll say that this is who we are. We're about 15 miles to the west, or to the east, inbound for full stop landing on runway 23 at Des Moines. So we'll say something along those lines, because it tells you what the call does. Is it says who are you talking to, so it gets their attention.
It'll be
says who you are. So
10 minutes after
who am I talking to? Talking to any traffic in the Des Moines area, or the area of Des Moines Airport. Who I am, Juan Cessna 6947 Echo. And then what's going on, what I intend to do,
runway, right
where I am, 15 miles to the east, then what I want to do, and I want to do a full stop landing on runway 23. And then you just reiterate that you're talking to Des Moines traffic. The 1 and 2 comms are no good on my system, can't monitor comm 2. Murph, there is a code to type into vPilot to make it work. I just don't remember what it is off the top of my head. For some reason, in the default 172, it seems to work fine, and it didn't used to. So, if I can remember what that code is, or if you are able to find it, I'll either let you know or let us know.
Chicago Center radar contact, squawk 1370.
So we're getting... yesterday I learned how to read a windsock and never knew it indicated wind speed only. Yeah, it does both. Yeah, 199er at 27. Our best bet is still runway 23. We'll just have a sporty crosswind. We'll switch that back. We'll still kind of keep monitoring Chicago Center while staying on Unicom for transmitting. Now, we can do a radio call 15 miles out, 20 miles out. 20 miles out is if you're in a really fast airplane. Kind of let them know, hey, I'm fast, I'm coming in. Because, you know, like a CRJ, it's not going to take long for a CRJ to get from, you know, hit 20 miles to the airfield. Cessna 172, it's nice to say it ahead of time. You can say it at 15. I wouldn't do it any,
5380
start
fly
talking
runway
to traffic any
14013
closer
runway
than 10.
19 right, quick takeoff.
Just so it lets traffic in the area know, hey, I'm this far out and I'm coming in, so anybody in the area needs to start saying what you're doing and where you are.
7 Juliet Bravo, clear direct Battle Creek Airport.
Battle Creek? Which Battle Creek?
Number 7 Juliet Bravo, roger. Number 7 Juliet Bravo, the Kalamazoo altimeter true 014.
Oh snap, it's talking about my neck of the woods. I'll be darned.
Number 7 Juliet Bravo, no worries. Did you say you were requesting the RNAV runway 5 left approach into Battle Creek?
Glad you enjoy it, Kingsman. Epic Fools in, good to see you.
November 7 Juliet Bravo, roger. Clear direct Webso, Whiskey Echo Victor Sierra Oscar. November 7 Juliet Bravo, just verify clear direct Webso.
So we're 20 miles out, and just for the sake of practice, we're going to give them a call. We won't do another call until we hit 10 miles out, saying our position and where we're going. It's looking kind of gray, so we're going to actually turn off Comm 2 for right now, just so we don't get distracted. So, Des Moines area traffic, Cessna 6947 Echo Skyhawk is 20 miles to the east, inbound for landing on runway 23 at Des Moines. What's the flight plan for the next leg? It is... Give me a mere couple of moments for me to... Well... KDSM... Actually, I'll just put it on screen for right now, so it's there. Ah, Allison's got it. Awesome. Ooh, we can drop throttle power. I might as well pop it in as it's heading on. Well, much appreciated, Allison. Throttle's doing silly things as the thunderflies go by. Some more water. So we're still looking good. We're now about 16 miles out. We'll wait until we get to 10 miles out to call them again. We're probably going to enter a left base for runway 23. But we'll make a call at 10 miles out just to update the area traffic to say, you know, I'm still coming in, nothing's happened, this is where I'm at, these are my intentions of what I'm going to do, and then I want to land, do a full stop landing, and go from there. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I've decided to do this on live weather, just because having the dynamic weather it just makes it look a lot better. Des Moines, Iowa is the capital and largest city in Iowa. It is named after the Des Moines River, which, pardon me, likely was adapted from the early French name Rivière des Moines, meaning River of the Monks. Nice. So it seems Stu's already inbound. He's in the area. Murph's still a little behind me. So we won't monitor Chicago Center for right now. We'll not talk to them. We don't want to bother. We don't want to be bothered by them. I think this here might be Stewart. Ailerons into the wind. Is there snow on the ground? Not so far. So now we're about 11 miles out. We'll give it another nautical mile and then we'll start calling in. We do have the airfield in sight. I've lost Murphy on VAT Spy. Ooh. Or not VAT Spy, but Simaware. Quick wave as I do a flyby. Glad to see you, old veteran Scott Voigt. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Happy Easter. So we're also visiting Splasher 6 while we're in town. Ooh, cooking. Cooking is great. I like food. So we're less than 10, so we're gonna give traffic a call. Des Moines area traffic, Cessna 6947 Echo at 2,000 feet, approximately 9 miles east of the airfield. We'll be entering left base for runway 23 at Des Moines. Full stop landing. The kettle is on. Awesome, Splasher. So we can see the real lights, runway end identification lights, flashing, telling us this is where the end of the runway is. So we'll get to the point, we'll turn right to do a base leg, and then turn left on the final. We'll do another call at 5 miles out, just to say, you know, we're 5 miles out, we're really close. And then after that, we won't call them again until we say that, you know, Cessna 69, you know, Des Moines area traffic, Cessna 6947 Echo, entering left base for runway 23, full stop landing at Des Moines. So it's who you're talking to, who you are, where you are, what you want to do. Those are the basic principles of talking on air traffic control. We can see the city over yonder. So we're still a little too far away from the field to really get into the base leg. However, we are now at 5 miles out, so we'll give another call. Des Moines area traffic, Cessna 6947 Echo Skyhawk at 2,000 feet is approximately 5 miles to the east, inbound for a left base for runway 23, full stop landing at Des Moines. And that just reiterates, so now people have it drilled into their head, hey, there's this guy in the Cessna Skyhawk coming in to land. Now granted, in reality, this is a tower controlled airfield, so I'd be talking to tower, I'd get vectored in and all that fun stuff, unless they're outside of operating hours, which I don't feel like this big of an airport has operating hours, but like my local airport, tower only operates certain hours of the day, so overnight they use a common traffic advisory frequency, which is a CTAF, so I would be doing these types of calls. Des Moines is also home to the Iowa Cubs, as opposed to the Chicago Cubs. Okay, so we're going to get in the cockpit. We're going to disable the autopilot. We're going to mixture to full. We're going to start our descent. Des Moines area traffic, Cessna 6947 Echo entering left base for runway 23 full stop landing at Des Moines. Ah! So 23 plus 90 degrees is going to be 340. So we're going to turn 340 to get on our base leg. I'm going to trim up so that we lose airspeed, because we want to descend, but we also want to lose speed so we can start getting into our flaps. And we can definitely tell it is very, very bumpy. Des Moines area traffic, Cessna 6947 Echo is turning left onto final for runway 23 full stop landing at Des Moines. So we overshot, so we're going to have to change. Des Moines is the insurance capital of the Midwest. So we're going to go to about 1600 RPM. We're going to need to pull up so we can lose some airspeed. Come on. We're just going to go to 2 notches of flaps. Straight final, we're pretty well established. We're going to add a little bit of power in. Ooh, man, it's bumpy. Woohoo! Very sporty. Very, very sporty. So we're not going to use full flaps just because we have a really long runway, and with the wind doing what the wind is doing, we don't want it to really catch us any more than it already is. There's runway 23. Yeah, that windsock's doing all kinds of fun stuff. So we're going to slowly reduce throttle. Start roll out and flare. Smooth, and you want to keep flying the airplane until you're absolutely stopped. Don't just think just because you touched down you have to stop flying, because you have to keep flying the airplane all the way down. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn left, get off to the side, and take this taxiway right here. Many thanks, Scott. Gonna get off to the side here. We're gonna be what's indicating taxiway alpha. I don't know if that's actually taxiway alpha or not, but get off to the side here, and we're gonna say Des Moines area traffic, Cessna 6947 Echo is clear of runway 23 on taxiway alpha at Des Moines. So we just said told everybody that, hey, we're down, you know, we're clear of the runway. See about catching some landings. I'm not as good at describing what's happening as Fabio and what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best. So name tags are on, resume. So we've got a lot of people already down. Kingsman's in. Ooh, careful, Kingsman. We'll hide that. Marwaz says, well, he used to teach people for a living. Yeah, he did. He's also very much more well-spoken than I am. So I'm doing the best I can for doing things in layman's terms, as it were. Chart says that DSM Tower is in continuous operation. But we're flying on network. We're flying on VATSIM, and it's not. There's no one to play tower for Des Moines at the moment, so we just use Unicom call. Six knots forgot gear. Whoops. I've totally done that a number of times. There's the Thunderflies in a formation landing. Ish. Yep, I'm actually trying out VATSIM for a little bit. Many thanks, Kingsman. As Jazz Rocks is now found. Many thanks, dude. Hope you're well. There's Druid inbound. There is a storm the size of Greenland, east of Greenland, and I can feel it over here. Oh, I can hear somebody talking on
3-1 onto Delta, Papa, Hold Point, Bravo, runway 23, bed 1.
So we have traffic on network. Home per bunch, yeah. Woof. So we still got some friends coming in. Close that. We got those open. That's what we need. Moving pigeons in. Where to next? We're going to be making our way from KDSM over to here in Des Moines, Iowa. We're going to be heading to Kilo Lima November Kilo, which is Lincoln, Nebraska. Don't forget, all the flight plans are available over on Discord. I zip them up in a nice little file so they're easy to thing, and I include a map and a little text document with the breakdown of the VORs that we're going to be heading to, along with their frequencies and distances. And speaking of Discord, there's a link to my Discord.
There's one traffic. Piper Golf, Tango, Romeo, Tango, crossing runway 31.
So we got Wayland coming in next, and then I'm going to get back out to the main menu and reload or load in the next flight plan. Nice job, Wayland. So, we're gonna do, what was it? Do this. And do that. And now we get to have the fun of going to the main menu. Continue. We're gonna disconnect from VATSIM for a moment while we refile. Welcome to Des Moines, says Splasher 6. So we need Navigraph charts. We're going to... Okay, so we're going to go load flight plans. Okay, we can find something more. There we go. Unclear Ocean 696, hello to you as well. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Okay, so we want to go from Des Moines to Lincoln. Talking more about Iowa. Nice. Loaded in the flight plan. Nice. So technically we're at the FBO. We're getting fuel, making sure everything's peachy keen and stuff. Gonna make sure that our times are everything's set up the way we want it. We since it's a little over an hour and start at 7, we'll call it 9:30. So that's good. So we want to make sure that we're setting our parking spot. So we'll do there and load. Where do I find the zip file on your Discord? So about it, if you're on my Discord, go to the Going Live channel, and you'll see a zip file with the name of the flight plan, and it should say flight plans right above it. It's right under the map, the basic flight information. And it says flight plans APR or April 4th, 2021, Epic US Cross Country Part 2 KDVN to KLN.zip. That will have all the pertinent flight information. Just when I'm about to land, I get a message about my connection speed being too low, and I couldn't. Oh no. Roger that. But alright, so I'm gonna do that. Forgot to do all this. Get this all set up. Okay. Back. Do this. Okay. Wayland is off for the night. You have a good one. Thanks for coming along. We'll do our best to be safe. So now we're gonna go over here. We're gonna show you how this works to file a flight plan on VATSIM. So we have vPilot here, right? We're going to go to flight plan. Now our departure airport is going to be KDSM, and we're going to fly to LNK, which is Lincoln. You don't have to put in an alternate airport. You want to put your estimated time of departure in Zulu time. So Zulu time is currently 2058, so it's about 2100. We'll put it at 2110 as our estimated. And we'll put that at like an hour 20. For a VFR flight plan, you don't necessarily have to do it as properly, I guess. I just kind of put in... Why do I keep closing that text file? I don't want to keep it closed. I want to keep it open. Yes. 6 Nights. This series will only ever be in the 172. It will never be in any other plane. It's staying in the 172. So we're going to put in our route. So KDSM Then we're going to go to OVR, then LNK, and then KLNK. You get 45 minutes each way for off the blocks. We'll call that, yeah, we'll call it 25. Send and receive, new to VATSIM. And see, one thing to put in there is new to VATSIM, because a lot of times when a VATSIM controller is looking at your flight plan, even if you're VFR, this kind of lets them know that you're still getting used to things, so you may not be as, you know, on the ball as a lot of other, as more experienced users. So I keep that in there just to say, hey, I'm a noob, I don't use a lot, you know, cut me some slack. Okay, so we're going to close, because that'll persist. So we're going to connect. We're going to put in what is our call sign, what type of aircraft are we in. So we're November 6947 Echo. We're going to see 172. Don't have to put anything there, and we're not going to be an observer, so we hit connect. So we're connected. I want to make sure you're squawking mode C. Oh no, is Denver Center on now? I don't want to talk to Center. Or is it just in range?
I feel good.
Okay, we're not in Denver Center, so we're good. We don't have to talk to Denver Center at all. Alright, so actually we can unmute flight sim. So we've got our flight plan filed. Actually, we don't have a file, so we go back to flight plan. Now that we're connected to the network, we hit file flight plan, and that gives them an estimation, and that they'll see the estimated time to leave or departure. That kind of gives us time to get everything loaded, get everything set up, taxi, and get rolling. So we're going to go back to Navigraph, and we're at the south cargo apron. We're going to taxi via Papa to runway 23, but that also means that we have to cross runway 31. So I'll show you how we do that. So we're going to go through our normal startup procedures. So we're going to make sure the parking brake is set. Fuel cutoff is open, trim is set for takeoff, mixture is rich, throttle is cracked, alternator and battery masters on, rotating beacon on, glare prop, and then got our engine running. Avionics are coming online, taxi and nav lights come on. So we're going to have to, and we have to go back to 122.8 for Unicom. Go to COM 2, because we want to at least monitor comms on like a center. So Denver Center is 127.65, 127, no, this is nav. Ooh, whoops. 2... There we go. So we want 127.65, and we'll listen to Denver Center. In the background. Okay, so we're going to get ourselves...
There's one traffic, Piper Golf, Tango Romeo, Whiskey Romeo Tango, climbing through 1,800 for 2,500, turning out to 180 to VOR Delta Sierra Mike. Des Moines.
116.3. And we're going to intercept this one quick because it's not that far south of the airfield. So we'll get the Lincoln one, which is quite a distance away. We'll get that set up as 116.1. We'll have that ready to go. And we need to put the DSM...
Des Moines ground, November 235 Romeo Mike is a Piper PA-28, taxiing on Bravo to runway 23 for a straight-out departure. Des Moines ground.
So we want to put that on a radio or a heading of 257. No. 257. Awesome. Let's see. Wait a minute. That man sounded like Murphy. It was. Murphy does VlatSim. It only took me being on the network to have him do it. So we're pretty well ready to go. We need to get some instrument lights because it's kind of dark. So we'll turn a little bit of those on. Get our thing out of the way. Turn those on. Turn those on. We're going to monitor that. Local time. So Des Moines area traffic, Cessna 6947 Echo type Skyhawk, taxiing from South Cargo Apron via runway taxiway Papa to runway 23 for departure to the west at Des Moines. Do they understand Liverpool? They might. They just might. So we need to release the parking brake. So we're going to head this way. We're really getting bumped around. It is very windy.
Golf Whiskey Tango Romeo Tango. Last call.
I was going to say it sounds slightly like Murphy.
0 overhead. Delta Sierra Mike Viola Desmond.
And English is the international language of aviation, as Admiral Ted is now following. Many thanks, dude. Hope you're well. Now, realistically, in this kind of weather, we would not be flying. Not at all. This is, at least in small planes, because this is just absolutely insane with the winds.
Des Moines traffic, November 235 Romeo Mike is taking off from runway 23 west departure. Des Moines traffic.
So we're about to cross the runway. We want to call out that we're crossing a runway, so we're going to wait until we hit the old short line. We'll throw on our strobe lights and make our call. Des Moines area traffic, Cessna 6947, I'll go crossing runway 31 on taxiway Papa at Des Moines. So we keep our lights, strobe lights on as we go across. See the line of
Piper
traffic.
November 23 Romeo Mike, Piper Golf Whiskey Tango Romeo Tango. Just be advised.
We're past the whole short line.
Of a kick, just as you're pulling out through 1,000 feet, 1,400 feet. Golf Romeo.
Whiskey Tango, thanks for that. Feeling the breeze. 235 Romeo Mike.
Thanks for the PIREP 6947 Echo. So we're past the whole short line. Strobe light comes off. We're continuing down taxiway Papa. And we're going to go to where this line of traffic is. It's a fun skill to master. If you like having a challenge to your flight simming, VlatSim's a wonderful thing. And if you ever have intention of getting into real flying, VlatSim's very, very helpful. So we're going to cut in the line a little bit. So we're going to turn landing lights on, strobe lights on, taxi light off. And Des Moines area traffic, Cessna 6947 Echo Skyhawk is taking off runway 23 for departure to the west at Des Moines. So, you're kidding me. Really, Sim? It thought about it. Okay, mixture's full, slowly adding engine power. We may not even need flaps at all with the wind. May even shrink down a little bit. And we're already off the ground. So we're going to maintain runway heading. We're going to preset our autopilot for 4,500 feet. Now we're crabbing into the wind a little bit to maintain the runway heading. We can trim down to compensate. And we kind of want to get past the airfield a little bit as we, or before we deviate from the runway heading. So we're going to keep going. And we've got a stable departure, so now we'll go ahead and activate our autopilot. Set it to 500 feet per minute. Activate nav mode. Go from VNav to GPS. So we're going to be following the GPS towards the VOR, and then from there we're going to be turning west. So this gets us out of the airspace, out of the active area of the airport, before we continue on and exit the traffic completely and go ahead en route. That's the wrong mouse. And SimWare says Chicago Center is now offline. Accurate that is because they're still showing on vPilot. Is what it is. No, they're still online. So is Denver, but we're not going anywhere near it. So we're already turning from, or turning onto course direct for the VOR. Get out and watch everybody's takeoffs. Look at all the fireflies. You can really, they really look like fireflies. Yes, I can speak English too. Fireflies when you have a little bit of gray skies. Yeah, no, I really enjoy the VATSIM experience. It's just another thing to learn. Have another beer. I don't even remember I think the last time I had a beer was St. Patty's Day. I had a Guinness with my dad. You have a good one, Shuffle Shoes. Good to have you. Hope you enjoyed the flight. Yes, fireflies. I can English good. So we're about to fly over the Comms 2, 123.45. So we'll switch to COM 2. We're going to tune in 123.45. Ooh, there's a kick. Ooh, she is a windy. So we're still proceeding on course. We're climbing at 500 feet a minute-ish. We're roughly...
Any call signs on 350 Golf, Whiskey Tango Romeo Tango.
Cessna 6947 Echo is on frequency. Cessna 6947 Echo is on frequency.
Welcome to Feline Company frequency, Cessna.
A little bumpy up here.
Yeah, just a little bit today. Gonna bump around. Currently holding 4,500. Heading 270. Just correction for the wind.
Roger that. We're just out of 3,500 on our way to 4,500. Altimeter is currently set at 299.4.
November 235 Romeo Mike on frequency.
Welcome to Feline Company frequency. By the way, guys, you have to finish every sentence if you say now as meow.
Right, meow. Littering hand.
What's going on here, meow?
It's bumpy meow.
And this is how you have fun. So we've left a.
It's kind of windy up here, and for Kingsman, it's kind of windy up here, right?
Uh-oh, Dangerous Brian with the CTD. Oh no. Slide, chicken nuggets. Alright, so we'll switch back to COM 1 for a minute so that we can...
This is November 235 Romeo Mike. I'm on some chicken nuggets.
And Des Moines area traffic, SO 6947 Echo, departing the airspace to the west at Des Moines. See you later. And we'll keep 122.8 monitored on COM 1. We'll always keep an ear on it in case anybody needs to get a hold of us.
The shenanigans have started already.
Whereas we're on 123.45 so that we can it's kind of a free chat, air-to-air chat. Obviously not to be abused by any means, but it is a controller-free sort of airspace to kind of talk to other traffic directly. Oh no, the Murph and now Super Trooper Meow. He's windy meow. And a can of cook. I think I said that right. Seems to smooth out a bit once you get closer to 4,500 feet. So we're at cruise, so we're going to set cruise power.
Yeah, currently at 4,500 feet, very smooth, speed 110 indicated, about 92 over the ground.
Indicating approximately 115 with 100 even on ground speed. That's good, that's good.
Golf Whiskey Tango Romeo Tango, roger that, lads. I'll pull my power now, just setting up for 21 on the manifold and 23 on RPM Going to catch up. See you in a moment.
245 degrees. And we need a frequency of 116.1 on nav 2. 116. Let's see, chicken nuggets and a can of Coke. No. How about a hot pie and some chips, Murph? 235 Romeo Mike, someone's asking you about a hot pie and some chips. Yeah.
This is 235 Romeo Mike. I could do with some hot pie right now.
Thanks, Starflex, the second. We got 2 orders for hot pie and chips. Hope you're doing well, Starflex. Welcome to the flight. We're just departed out of Des Moines, heading to Lincoln, Nebraska. We're on VATSIM. We're having the laugh. Wonderful smell of garlic and Italian seasoning. Oh, you're making me hungry there, Scott. I had steak and eggs for breakfast, but you're tempting me with spaghetti. Started making my own 172 sim cockpit right now. Home built, so that's awesome, dude. Just a pyre up just south of Des Moines. We've got some jet traffic in the area.
Thanks for the heads up.
Eyes to the ground, always to the ground. Kept at PA-28 from Canary, now in the Solo X1. Roger that. Got a chopper with us. Liking the X1? Nice. I spent a little bit of time in it, but not a whole lot. TCAS traffic alert. Climb now. Climb. Should be ready in another 40 minutes. Have some fromage, bread, and cheese. Ooh. Lovely day in Iowa.
You're aware, the forward area is clear, the skies are grey. Not a drop of rain in sight so far, so turn and burn.
Kick the tires and light the fires. We're going to fly past Omaha, Nebraska, the home of...
I don't have anything to add. Nothing fancy to say.
You can be my wingman anytime.
Did Murphy had nothing fancy to say? That's the first time in the existence of streaming. He has nothing to say.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
He's pulling out his black book out of his feet now.
Finally gets partner and suddenly no words. 99 hours flying sideways. Ooh, boys.
I can song many things.
I'm as sharp as a donut. Get the Bushley Leggings X Cub. Yeah, I hear a lot of good things about the Bushley.
That's a classic.
I hear a lot of good things about the Bushley Legends mods. I just haven't picked them up yet. Heading, we are on a heading of 259 degrees. We're heading from the DSM VOR on the way to the OVR the OVR VOR, and we're heading to the LNK VOR. So roughly, I think we're indicating 260 to compensate for the wind. Otherwise, it's a 245 degree heading for 48 nautical miles. Or something. No. The DSM VOR to the OVR VOR. I did things weird. Words are hard, man. Hey, it runs in the wind. Vlad's messing around on comms went on tour. Oh yeah! We're having the crack. There's the Thunderflies. Am I the only one that has jets flying around them like they're circling, buzzards?
Yeah, I think you may be. I'm not seeing it on my side.
Yeah, I only have that in traffic turned on. I can just see you guys.
I swear I showered this morning.
Like flies to...
The NX Cub is my favorite. Nice. This is why I set up the comms. 16 knots from 210. Roger. So if we go over here, we're almost over Omaha. You get the captain. You get the captain. Come on, com shouting out. Okay, so that's there. That's there. That's still doing the thing. So we want to look at the airport info for Lincoln, Nebraska. Their ATIS or AWAS is on 118.05. So we're going to see if we can get that. No, we're still too far out. That's fine. So we're still too far away for Lincoln weather information. That's not. There we go. That's fine. Alright, so I hope everyone's enjoying the little demonstration of ATSIM, some VOR to VOR navigation, and the scenery in and of itself is very nice. A little gray with the weather, but it's a nice challenge to have real weather as opposed to always pleasant weather. We've got 2 choppers with us now. One of the wonderful things about the dynamic weather is the fact that you can see holes in the clouds like we're here, where you can see the sun's breaking through and shining a bit. It's been kind of fun showing some different aspects to flight simming, such as simple VLR navigation, some simple radio traffic, radio communication. Glad to hear, Kingsman. I like trying to show off little things here and there. You know, like I said before, this series has really been my attempt at being a little bit closer to the books. To kind of help me and my desire to go into or get back into real flight training, and to kind of help stave off any bad habits, because it's really easy with the casual flying to lose sight of what you're actually supposed to do. That's not to take away from the fun aspect of just flying in flight sim and exploring and having just the joy of flight, but it's something you can't necessarily take everywhere in the real world. And I'd like to be able to go flying in their world and not create any bad habits for myself. And flight sim is a wonderful tool for doing just that. Between things like VATSIM, having Navigraph for charts and such, and being able to have all those resources to do things as you would in the real world is just phenomenal. And be able to, it's like I can fly with Murph and ailerons and be on comms and still have the laugh, and it's great. We'll always still do the casual flights, but it's having the real casual wading into of the real world procedures it's nice.
Don't forget to switch tanks, Mark.
No comment.
And switching it off doesn't count.
I just changed them there, meow.
But I mean, just look at the weather. It was rough over Des Moines, but it's smoothed out once we got to altitude, and it's still kind of gray, but it still looks amazing. Bear 9 to 29840.
Hey ailerons, what's your current performance in the PA-28? Speed and engine power.
Don't forget to check your altimeter settings, fellas.
So speed, we're currently pushing 120 indicated. That's not true. Across the ground we're 107. I'm currently set up for 2500 RPM and 21 on the manifold pressures.
Roger.
Okay, so yeah, we can boost up to 2500 RPM, get a little bit more speed out of it. We want to make sure that we're at a decent performance with the mixture. So we're indicating, let's see, that's 80, 90, 100. So we're 100. Roughly call it 110 indicated, ground speed's 95. Now we're still at the right air altitude. We just changed our baro settings. But we're getting a heck of a headwind, because if we look at the wind indicator, it's coming directly out of the west, and it's a 24 knot headwind, so it's slowing us down quite a bit, both in indicated airspeed, a little to some degree, but to a much higher degree in ground speed. So it's really having an effect, a strong effect on our estimated. So we have an ETE of 40 minutes and counting. But we still get to look at the beautiful scenery of Splasher 6's home state. Can't select live weather. Any ideas? That might double check your data settings to see if that's been turned off for some reason. Otherwise, I don't know. It should have no effect on indicated airspeed. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I misspoke. Scott, you're 100% correct. I spoke out of my butt. This is why I have smart people that are much smarter than I am in the community, because I sometimes can sound smart, doesn't mean I am. Starflex the second is now 5 minutes. Thanks, dude. Hope you're enjoying the flight. Let's see. Being intercepted by 2 helicopters without spinning rotors. Yeah. Cork, you got it? Oh, trust me, old veteran, you're much smarter than you're giving yourself credit for it. Weather only works for me if I load on... Yeah, so that's kind of, I think, it's... Loading in with clear weather, it's not getting any kind of pre-cached weather. And then when you select live, it could just load it all in. Otherwise, it's kind of bugged live weather. Yeah, enjoying it. Nice for something running back up. Appreciate it, my dude. Let's enjoy the rest of the flight time forward. You have a good one, Scott. Enjoy the spaghetti. And we'll catch you on Discord. Synced up with the camera. Yes, that's your story, and you're sticking to it. No, it's just a bug. It's a bug with the freeware kilo. I'm sure they'll get it sorted out. Check SimAware again. Come on. It's actually the model you're using more. So they must have updated it in the last day. Meteor weather says 210 at 24 when gets to 30. Yeah, so, fun fact, Microsoft Flight Simulator uses weather information from Meteo Blue. And
conditions in terms of weather again seems to be clearing up a little bit, around about 43 miles from Oscar Victor Romeo.
Good to hear. It sounds like the conditions ahead are improving. Getting a little clear. Here go the Thunderflies looking good. So we're going to cancel that off. I'm going to try doing one of these.
Number 235 Romeo Mike, Golf Tango Romeo Tango.
235 Romeo Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm showing you off my right wing, slightly about 5 o'clock and probably 20 miles.
Negative, I don't have a visual. What's your current altitude?
4,400, flat level 440. Correction 040.
Looking for the traffic. 235 Romeo Mike.
Folks, family distance.
Trying not headwind here.
It's not that. Yeah. Southwest is running up. Nice. 440 is 4,400 feet. 44,000 feet. Barrel back up to 299.3. Sorry, Vince, I was off comms for a family issue. I'm back.
Order.
So I can definitely see both ailerons into the wind and Murph ahead of me on Simaware, and then I'm following closely, or they're actually in a different county of Iowa than I am, but they're not that far ahead. I can kind of see their blinky lights ahead of right about there. Yeah, no kidding. 44,000 feet, that's flight level 440. Pretty sporty for a Piper Arrow. I missed the call entirely, so don't blame me. Talk to chat. Haywire 2984 going to stop checking. Yeah. I don't need to have constant barrel changes. In real flying, you're not necessarily going to worry about. You're going to worry about where you are. If ATC tells you it changes, and then once you get to your destination, you're going to want to know, or once you get close to your destination,
Golf
you're
Romeo Tango. This is 235 Romeo Mike. I have you in sight.
Romeo 23 Mike. Welcome.
You know, so.
Hey, Brown.
It's not like flight sim where you're constantly
I'm going to end up
checking.
making a right turn shortly, just to be on the safe side.
Brian has been amazing. Yeah, that's nuts.
270.
Roger.
You know, so we're in flight sim, we're constantly hitting the button, and you know it is what it is. And you might be checking it here and there if you're on a real long leg, but especially when you're talking about short legs, you're gonna set it to when you're taking off. You might check it once en route, and then you'll get the destination altimeter setting when you're just about there. So you're not getting constant changes, because otherwise it's just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and that ruins a lot of flight efficiency as far as fuel burn and all that, because you're constantly going up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah, they're checking flight. Yeah, I'll at most give it 3 checks, and otherwise I wait for ATC to either tell me that it's changed, and then I'll adjust it, or I'll just wait until I get close to the destination. Yeah, IRL here for a flight to the local beach. I set it when I see the ATIS, and never redo again until I read the ATIS on arrival. For example, if I've been off the beach for an entire day. Yeah. During a short local flight, never bothered to change it. I mean, growing up, we'd change it when we left our home airport. We went to KJXN for breakfast, and 10 miles out or whatever, we'd change it to whatever it was locally. We wouldn't change it when we departed back home, but we'd change it again when we were, you know, just 10 miles out or whatever of our home airport. So it's definitely unnecessary to just check it constantly. I think the only people that really worry about that are like airliners, because they're traversing such a long distance in a relatively shorter amount of time because they're going fast. So you're going through a lot of different pressure systems, and even there, it's kind of not all the time.
Hey fellas, just going to confirm altitude as we approach Omaha and also a airport space. Minimum altitude 2,500, ceiling is 5,000, so we happy enough sticking at 4,500?
I mean, we're not in controlled airspace, so we're not going to get told off. But if you want to push to, if it's between 2,005 to 5,000, I'd definitely look to climb 5.
Check out your spaces.
Yeah, Golf Tango Romeo Whiskey Tango. Golf Tango Romeo Tango. We are good one.
I mean, we could go around it.
I'm good with going to 5,500. So, because we have some airspace coming up at the next VOR,
5,500 for the win.
We're gonna go climb to 5,500, which will get us over the airspace that we're running into, because the Class C airspace will stops controlled airspace at 5,000 feet. So we want to be above that. Fought with weather all across Oz, not willing to deal with that. No, that's fair. I'm definitely not forcing anybody to run real weather like me. For me, it's a personal kind of thing. So we're gonna bump up that 5. No, we'll give it 4. But no one is obligated to do the same. I'm simply doing it for my own sake. I should have sky vector up. Oh, why am I here? I'm being here. That's right. Ah, that's a sim crash. Oh, that's the wrong one. It was going so well, I blame the little nav map. It happens. It was pretty stable. Just had an oops. That's what it is. It's only the first time it's happened on the flight, so I'm not fussed. Keen Lafford is in. How you doing? Well, considering you weren't in the sim, you would your presence would have no effect. So I wouldn't worry about it. Oh, that was a legit flight sim crash. That wasn't even a VC runtime thing. That was a straight up flight sim. Interesting. He's a 748. Okay. I don't know, as I saw, it ran out of VRAM, but on the bright side, it's only 43 days until Eurovision. Nice. So we're going to spawn back in near Omaha, and we'll just do a direct to Lincoln. They say, I think all things considered, we were doing pretty good. You gotta work real hard to get under my skin. Or at least to really get under my skin anyway. There's much worse things in the world to worry about than pixels. See, I don't like, one thing I don't like is I don't like the VPilot completely exited. Like, I can get that if it disconnects me, but a complete shutdown of the program, that just seems ridiculous, a little overkill. Big Tone 66 says hello to folks. Well, I don't have P3D, and I think P3D is kind of a waste since it's just a glorified FSX, and it's way too expensive. It's silly amounts of expensive.
You can't wait on other people to be what you've been called to be. You can't wait on their affirmation.
And P3D's got nothing on the visuals of Flight Sim. It just doesn't. Absolutely nothing on it. Alright, so set departure is there. KLNK.
You can't stop chasing the dreams of your life just because you know when you do it, do it all by yourself.
5,100. Should be good to go. Too bad for me. It was being data and photogrammetry. Now, the being streaming can be kind of hit and miss. The photogrammetry does have a tax onto the system more than anything. I've had it off from time to time. When it plays nice, I have it on, but it does cause issues from time to time. Alright, so nope, that's not what I wanted. That's PS snap mode. There. And then we're gonna go ahead and connect. So, 22, 8 on comp 1, comp 2, 1, 2, 3. it's just so intermittent. My last streams both long and solid. Tried to, yeah, it's weird. It's frustrating, but at the same time, I've stopped really getting upset over it because it just is what it is. You know, I'd rather stay positive.
I need one of them in my life.
Oh, I'd love to fly one.
I'm back, gents, after a sim crash.
Hey, he's back meow.
Na 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 na.
One of my old line names was Batman.
I'm Batman.
Where are the other drugs going? Spawn off at home of Sac. I could, but we're flying over.
You merely embrace the dark. I was born in it.
I look like a guy with a plan.
Nebraska, now!
We went from Batman to Arnie like that. Never dance with the devil in the pale moonlight.
Annie for the next Batman for the win.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. Get to the bat chopper.
Make sure you fix the autopilot this time.
We need to go now! Straight to Gotham! Alfred, quick! Get the car!
Alfred's a 70-year-old. He couldn't be quick if he tried, could he?
Alfred was like in the SAS or something.
And butlers.
Never mess with Alfred. I'd be scared of Alfred. It's the simple fact of never mess with anybody that handles your food.
Very true. But it's Michael Caine as well, you know, and he's robbed a bank. Full-on London gangster.
Shot down the Germans over the channel. See, this is what you can. This is the fun you can have on Pat Sim.
I was trying to do a Michael Caine, it didn't work. Hence I stayed quiet.
Just don't do it over the actual live network. But if you did a clearance or requested a clearance in Arnold Schwarzenegger at, say, like London or Manchester on VATSIM, I would pay you to do that and be in stitches the whole time.
We definitely need to get Murph on VATSIM more. I can do it, Murph can do it.
It's steady, honestly. It is so steady. I mean, it gets a little bit stressful if you're going into like the busy places, or if ATC just all of a sudden pops up and you get like a standby me. You're like, oh crap, I've got to start writing stuff down now. But other than that, guys, honestly, there's nothing to it. There really isn't.
Best way to get better at it is just to do it. Hence why I'm on.
Lincoln Tower, I need to land now!
So yes, ladies and gentlemen watching Colonel Falk's stream, if you ever wonder what the mods on Two-Tone Murphy's Discord are doing, this is it.
He's not wrong. He is very much not wrong. All of the shenanigans.
The what?
All of the shenanigans.
What was that you said?
Exactly. I do hope that you all are enjoying it, because it's a lot of fun. Flying on VATSIM, it seems more intimidating than it is. The hardest part about doing it is just getting started, because everybody's worried about sounding.
So, what are you using as a mod for your GNS 530 bed?
The PMS GNS 530 mod. It's on GitHub. I think I put it on the Discord.
I'll have to browse and have a look for it, buddy.
You can actually set it up to get text METARs on it, TCAS, and Nexrad too. Pharma, yes. That's why I don't shave my beard very often when I have a mustache.
Even I got it to work. Many thanks, Colonel Fork, but yeah, it works a treat.
I just look like Pharma. I'm just a lot nicer.
You mean it just more what I'm used to with regards to XP? I'm sure half of these mods are being put together by X-Plane designers. Or PD3.
So if I come in here and I go boop, 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 boop. So Kingsman's asking, how would Liverpool Tower sound, ailerons?
Calm down, mate. I'll give you your clearance in a minute.
Alright, you have information Echo, so runway use is runway 27.
Roger that, Viper Strike. Current METAR for Lincoln Airport is 21, winds are 210 at 18, gusting to 27, 10 statute miles visibility, temperature 32, dew point 04, altimeter 2985. We're just getting over.
Hey, Roger.
We're going to fly directly over Offutt. I think we're just about to the VOR. We're right on the edge of the airspace. Yeah, so there's lots of tools. The most nerve-wracking thing, well, let me back that up. Probably.
Colonel, I love that livery, bro.
Yeah, I do too.
The livery, I'm just sitting here looking at the exact same thing.
Now, if only somebody were to make a Cessna 175 for Flight Sim, I could be a very happy person.
We need to get on that meow.
100% meow. I'll have to use Murph's contact though. Call a base away.
Nah, get a hold of Just Flight. Ooh, thunder! Get the thunder! So we're actually pretty darn close to Murph and ailerons. I think they're right in here. Although I'm showing, no. There and there. Got two Thunderflies with us.
Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very lightning. Galileo.
Galileo Figaro.
Magnifico!
No.
Mamma mia, let me go.
Oh, Queen. Make sure that Omaha's minor league baseball team is called the Storm Chasers. Yeah. If you want to be a Storm Chaser, this is the place you want to be, really. You know, the Great Plains area, everywhere from North Dakota down to, well, less so the Dakotas, but that once you get into Iowa, Nebraska, Oklahoma, you're in right storm chasing country. Set my altimeter 987. This is really funny. Rex Live Weather has blue skies and just a little interesting. So, gents, confirm altitude 5,500.
Confirm 5,500. I'm starting a descent on down to 3,500 shortly.
Hey, firm, currently at 5,500, still in controlled airspace. Should be leaving here in the next 10 minutes.
Copy that. Altimeter. My current altimeter is 2987.
Yeah, that checks for me.
Roger.
What's the vector, Victor?
Mini clearance, Clarence.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the Unreal Weather METAR. It's a little tricky to get set up initially, but
Colonel, what's this big river that I'm looking at just off the nose?
Well, it's a river of water.
Wow.
It's the Platte River, Platte River.
I'm not sure, but I think when they did this with the sat imagery, it was flooded.
It's possible.
Hey, Billy, you've never been inside a men's gymnasium?
Dang it, Bobby. A river fork, or a fork in a river. We're still over controlled airspace. I think we're just south of Offutt. Oh, we got a Corsair with us. Woo! I feel special, guys. I've got a Corsair on my 6.
As we see the Corsair in its native land, looking spliffy.
Here we see the Cessna 172 being pursued by 2 jets and a Corsair. The C-172 keeps its calm, knowing that it has greater numbers in the world than the jets.
Is. Thank you. And as we can see, it uses the yellow colors for the mating ritual.
And also has a warning to predators that it is venomous. This is just nuts. So by all means, if anybody's interested in VATSIM, please post on the Discord, whether it be my Discord or True to Murphy's Discord. We've got a lot of people that know how to get you going. I still have an anxiety about it, but I'm getting over it. And the best way to get over it that I've found is just to do it, get on it, do the thing, get a notepad to write the instructions down, and just get used to doing it. But we've got a lot of people that can, help you out, talk you through it. Just need the Spitfire now. Yep. If Jay Winokur wasn't working today, he probably would. JoinFS is also a good tool for it. It's a much more casual experience, and we do have some ATC going on that. We actually haven't done JoinFS in quite some time, but it works a lot in the same way as VATSIM does. VATSIM is more of a structured environment, which there's nothing wrong with that.
This is November 235 Romeo Mike, just about to leave the area of control and will descend to 4,500 feet.
Golf Whiskey Tango Romeo Tango descending already down to 5,000.
We've got a Gigna too. Let's see, we're still in. Well, we're just coming out. We're still in controlled airspace, so we'll give it a little bit longer. Wasn't somebody on fast, was it? Oh, no. Who was that? No, that Gigna is definitely not on VATSIM. You got this, JW. I believe in you. So there's Offutt right behind us. So once we get to about to right about here-ish.
On the cannon.
We'll start our descent. Airport information.
Just so you boys are aware as well, link agent 118.050. Still not picking anything up at 28 miles, so fingers crossed get out shortly.
118.050. Roger.
Yeah, we've got Unicom as well on 122.95 or display on 122.95.
I'm not seeing any center activity or local activity on that spy, so we should be good.
No, me either. I've got it on that map and I'm not seeing anything.
I've actually been running it on Volanta and yeah, it's fairly accurate.
You're Volanta. No, Batman. Got all kinds of funnage going around, Corsairs and 339s, GA, and we're having fun, and that's what's important, is we're having a joy. I need to...
So just to see how many different systems we have running, right? So for me, I have Volanta, I have vPilot, I have Remote Flight Server, which is an app for your iPad. It's very, very good. And I have Navigraph as well.
So I've got FP Sim Toolkit Pro, I've got
That's awesome.
World Traffic Map, I've got my Jetson Navigraph charts open, and that's pretty much it, I think.
Spotify, File Explorer, OBS, Notepad, vPilot, VatSpy, Flight Sim, and then on my laptop I have Chrome, Navigraph, Discord, and Chrome.
And a pile of smoke coming up the back of his PC.
It's made for a nice space heater.
Okay, boys, 23 miles out, I'm going to descend them down to pattern altitude of 22. $2,200 just in case you're unsure.
I don't know if I can count that high.
That's what she said.
Ooh. And Cessna 6947, I put descending from 5,500 to 2,500.
November 235 Romeo Mike, descending from 4,500 down to 2,200. November 235 Romeo Mike.
Nice, Catbat. Allie has Firefox, Discord, and little nav map. Yeah, the VFR, doing it legitly without the autopilot and without the GNS 530 mapping it out is something I'd like to do, but it doesn't necessarily work for the stream itself just because I like being able to talk, and I have some Italian heritage, so I naturally talk with my hands, and I can't talk with my hands if they're busy. So it is what it is. I have Rex VFR map view tracker running. Nice. So we should start looking at where we're going to go. We're going to land. Airport info. So it is 11805. Simcom 737 is in. Good to see you, dude. Hope you're well. Happy Easter.
Lincoln Airport information, Oscar 2100 Zulu. Wind 183 at 19er. Visibility, tree.
118.
Sky condition.
Winds are 118 at 19er at Lincoln. So we're going to land on runway 17. It's the GA runway. I'm going to plan on runway 17 for landing. Information, Oscar is active. Happy Easter to you as well. Thank you. It's been a interesting couple of days. Viper Strike, since we were flying to Lincoln, the city is home to the University of Nebraska. Their sports teams are known as the Cornhuskers and are most successful for their football program. They won
Guys, definitely getting some bumps going off here as we're passing through 2,000. According to ATIS, we're in for a visual for runway 17.
Copy. Most of the search they won 5 national titles, 46 conference titles, and 377 players were drafted in the NFL, with 5 of them in the Hall of Fame. Nice. here looking at the thing and trying to find where we are. Could not. You dirty rotten no good. So,
Okay, Jen's going to jump over to 122.8.
so we're going to switch back to Unicom.
Lincoln traffic, Piper Golf, Whiskey Tango Romeo Tango, level 2500, enter, going to enter on the left base for runway 17, Lincoln traffic.
Lincoln, Lincolnshire. Just Lincoln. They also play in Memorial Stadium, which has a capacity of 85,000, with a record attendance of 91. Wow. So we'll wait until we get a little closer, as I've got noises of FS Pilot 214 is now following. Many thanks, dude. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Happy Easter. Hope you enjoy the flight. I might drop that down to 400 foot a minute. Lincoln traffic, Cessna 6947 Echo type Skyhawk inbound for visual approach to runway 17 full stop at Lincoln.
Lincoln traffic, November 235 Romeo Mike is a PA 28 on a visual approach runway 17 full stop, Lincoln.
Now, our ATC phraseology may not be perfect, but it basically gets the point across. It hits the basic needs of who am I calling, who am I, where am I, and what do I want to do, and that's the initial call out, and that can be the hardest thing to get out. You know, when you're new to the whole thing. And the best place to start with doing call-outs on ATC is an uncontrolled airfield where it's just you and general traffic. You're not worrying about a tower.
Traffic, Piper Golf, Whiskey Tango, Romeo Tango, approximately 2,500, 33 miles to the north, with Papa inbound for visual 17.
One more thing, Nebraska has sold out an NCAA record 375 consecutive games at Memorial Stadium, a streak that dates back to 1962 when full Memorial Stadium famously holds more people than the population of Nebraska's third largest city, Bellevue. Nice. State of the town hall. Ooh, we're getting bumpy. We're getting bumpy. So our next call out is going to be at 10 miles, and it's going to be basically the same thing. We're going to say who we're calling, where or who we are, where we are, and what we want to do. And that it's the easiest to start at uncontrolled airspace because you're not worrying about having getting directions from 5 different people and changing frequencies. You're on the one frequency, and you just have to remember the 4 basic things of talking on air traffic. You're talking on the radio. Who you're talking to, who you are, where you are, what you want to do. It's a lot. It can be a lot to get over mentally, but once you start doing it and get used to doing it, it gets easier and easier and easier. Then you move up to start to talk to actual controllers. Sometimes I'll fly in uncontrolled space. Where there's a center controller on, and maybe I'll ask for flight following. He'll give you a
Lincoln traffic, code. November 235 Romeo Mike is at 2,000 on the right downwind for runway 17 to land. Lincoln.
Ooh, that's not good, JW. On Mavis runway, Kozaki, I've got the chart, the airport info chart. There is a 17. There's not necessarily any actual approaches. We're just doing a visual approach. I wish I could show you, but it's on my other computer. But there is a 18, a 36, a 17, a 35, a 32, and a 14. So we're not going to call until we get to 10 miles out. We're going to stay on, stay at 2,500 until we get about 5 miles out. Then we'll descend to the final pattern altitude, which is about 2,200 feet. So we're just above pattern altitude, because pattern altitude is generally 1,000 feet above the field level. Here in the U.S., we usually say AGL, which is above ground level. I forget what they call it in Europe, but it's something different. So phraseology changes a little bit depending on whether you're in Europe or whether you're in the United States. It all basically means the same thing. It's just a difference in terminology. 3-2 is not a good idea because of the winds. Nighty Night Owl. You'll be landing with a significant tailwind. Roger that, Kazaki. AG also here, Roger. I've seen it listed as something else from time to time, as far as European ATC is concerned, but I honestly can't remember what it is. I've always known it as AGL, so that's just what's in my brain. So we're kind of, well, we'll just say west. So we're getting closer, we're about to make our call. We're going to make sure that we're on the right altimeter, so we're a little lower than 2,500. And Lincoln traffic, Cessna 6947 Echo Skyhawk inbound, or is west, or correction, is approximately 10 miles to the northeast, inbound to land, visual approach runway 17, full stop at Lincoln. So 17. You're not going to want to, if you're running real weather, you're not going to want to land on 3.5 or 3.6. You'll want to land. You'll be landing with a tailwind.
Hey guys, I'm being absolutely battered around here by the weather. I got a 12 knot crosswind with a 34 knot headwind.
Copy that. So we're just above I-80. Local field change runways from 11 to 29 to 12.3. Yeah, that changes over time as magnetic shift occurs. So we're gonna head, so 17 we want Bath. 17 plus 9 is 260. So we're going here. We're here, heading mode. Landon Lincoln heading to Morristown. Nice. Allison's reporting being tossed around. Yeah, it's getting bumpier, for sure.
Lincoln traffic, November 235 Romeo Mike is turning left base for runway 17, full stop, Lincoln traffic.
There are ILSs, I don't have a lot of experience with ILSs, so we're just flying VFR, so we're just using visual approach for runway 17. What aircraft is this and who makes it? It's a Cessna 172. It comes with the premium deluxe version of Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is the steam gauge version as opposed to the thing. I do. Stir Blackie a lot, put it in there, and I'm it's very, very nice of him to do that.
Lincoln traffic, Piper Golf Whiskey Tango Romeo Tango. Level, power and altitude, entering left base on runway 17, full stop, Lincoln.
So basically what we're going to do, we're kind of...
Lincoln traffic, November 235 Romeo Mike is on a 3-mile final for runway 17, full stop landing, Lincoln traffic.
We're basically going to be doing an we're kind of approaching as if we had an extended downwind. So we'll be on an extended base. Lincoln traffic, Cessna 6947 Echo is on an extended left base for runway 17 at Lincoln. So we can see all the traffic coming in to land, and there's a lot of it. A lot of nice weather, blue sky up here. We can see the real lights down there. I believe that's ailerons. This might be Murph. Then I'm here. It's on runway 8. Roger. So we got the Corsair bringing us in with a 339 and another Corsair. So this is where we're going to just go ahead and take control from the autopilot. I have the airplane. Allison's 11 minutes to the Lincoln VOR. Roger. So we're going to mixture to full. We're going to start. Yeah, I like steam gauges much better than glass cockpits. It's a little old school, but it's what I know the most. So we're going to. We don't want to get past 2200, but we do want to start descending. And we're getting shuffled around quite a bit. So we're going to actually turn that off. Turn that off. Just going to worry about that. Lincoln traffic, Cessna 6947 Echo, turning left onto long final for runway 17 at Lincoln.
Lincoln traffic, November 235 Romeo Mike, go around.
Kingsman is 16 nautical miles out, no worries.
Lincoln traffic, Piper Golf Whiskey Tango Romeo Tango, 3-mile final, runway 17, full stop with Oscar, Lincoln.
Am I seriously in front of them? There's no way. There's no way I'm in front of them. Okay, I'm in front of Stu. And I'm low, so I need to...
Oh boy. Pucker up, guys. This one's gonna be a bit hairy, I think.
Just like my legs.
I don't know, was it a glitch, but I just completely got blown way off the runway.
It did say it was gusting 26.
So we're in a bit of a slip. So right aileron's down, left rudder in. We're on glide slope. We're just focusing. We're not even focusing on the radio right now. We're focusing on maintaining the runway course. And our landing and doing it safely. Granted, this kind of winds, I wouldn't necessarily be landing here.
Lincoln traffic, November 235 Romeo Mike is on the left downwind for runway 17 to land. Lincoln traffic.
Sound was blocked.
Lincoln traffic. Piper Golf, Whiskey Tango Romeo Tango. 2 mile final. Full stop landing, Lincoln.
And you'll notice I didn't use any flaps at all because flaps they slow you down, but they can also catch wind. And that's not necessarily always what you want. So, got long enough runway, so runway length isn't the issue. Till the last second. Now that wasn't a great landing, but you see we got more lift as we added flaps in. So we're gonna hit the brakes. We're less than 40. Flaps are coming up as quickly as we can. And we're getting to the apron ASAP. Lincoln traffic, Cessna 6947 Echoes clear of runway 17 at Lincoln. Thanks, Cheesy. I like your name, Cheesy Poof.
Lincoln traffic, November 235 Romeo Mike, turning left base 4 miles from the field. Lincoln traffic.
So we're going to park ourselves right here as we start getting ready for landings.
Oh, that was super smooth. Lincoln traffic.
And we're going to get into there. We're gonna, as Big Joer is now following. Many thanks, dude. Many thanks, Kingsman, for the kind words. I legitimately kind of forgot the flaps, but it kind of worked out with the winds. Roger that, Kazaki. No worries. Ailerons is in. And off. Thank you. And then we need to hide me. There's Jesus. So we're not going to hear Via Pilot anymore because we've turned off the avionics and the aircraft. And thusly completed the flight. So Microsoft has logged it. So I didn't lose all those hours just in case it decides to go poo-poo on us during watching the landings. Nice Corsair flying. Jesus is in. Arborchetta, 6 knots are all in. Papa Joe B in the Mooney. Yeah, if I pan over here just a little bit more, you can see that windsock is just absolutely blown out. Mike Fear 303 in the Corsair. Awesome. There's Wayne Butler coming in the Skyhawk. I think if I could only fly one plane in the sim, it'd be the 172. There's so much flying you can do it. Yeah, 100%. There's Hammy in the Corsair. Nice landing, dude. Ooh. Gotta remember those wings. There's Roger RC in a Corsair. There's Cat Bat in the X-Cub. Get out of V-Pilot. Ah, that'll do it, Hammy. That'll do it. Now, Mike Fear, now land it. Here come the Thunderflies. Oh wait, now it's telling me that it's a Corsair. It updated, it fixed itself. I wonder if that has to do with liveries. Great stream, see you soon. Need to get, yeah, 100% Splash 6, glad to have you along. There's a bump in the center. Ooh. Great to have you here. Glad that we could show off your home state and do some VAT simming to boot. I think it was a positive experience for me being able to do it. It's something I'd like to get into more. Baby steps into talking to actual controllers. And that baby step is going from a Unicom experience to even talking to a center, just getting simple flight following wherever you're going. You could be going from uncontrolled airspace or uncontrolled airport to uncontrolled airport, having that experience of talking to them, getting a squawk code, getting flight following, potentially getting vectored, around weather or what have you. It's a step up, and then you start worried about talking to ground controllers or talking to tower approach, departure. So there's a lot. A Wookie Nookie. That's a name. Doing a real fast taxi. Holy cow. Viper striking a 172. Good night and thank you, Colonel. Have a nice Easter Monday. You have a great night, night owl. Glad you came along. 6 Knock is heading off, liking the VAT Sim. Nice. For now, most of the more by-the-book stuff, we're going to contain it to this particular, the Sunday series. We're still going to do the fun exploring and whatnot on the Tuesdays and Thursday series. But for this one, we'll start using VAT Sim more, and it might force us out of the comfort zone when it comes to... Oh, Mike! That's a wing strike. But yeah, so we'll do more of it. Hopefully we can get Murph and ailerons into the wind to do it with us even more. I still like doing the landings, but there may be some format differences moving forward, just being more by the book. We don't do the normal left-hand orbit of the airfield when we're on VAT Sim because we're gonna try to be more realistic in a way. So there may be a little bit of minor format changes just to kind of accommodate for VAT Sim, and which is fine. I'm just happy to have you all along. Excuse me. It's actually the weather here is just absolutely nuts. We've got more. I know we've got more folks coming in. Here we go. There's Allie and Kingsman coming in. So we can see a longitude, some MB-339s, Corsairs. There's Mike, there's Cat Bat, there's 6 Knots, Test Pilot, Sonic Lake, Captain Jack. But I think it was an absolute success. There's Epic in the helicopter. There's Wade Butler in a Cap 10. Oh, that's a scraper. Yeah, there's a great reference World War II training video for the Corsair. I've got to watch it a few times and pick up what it said, but it really helps with the engine settings and landing configuration and all that fun stuff. And the Kozaki flighter says viewer 100%, and it's nice to be able to do that old school navigation without the GPS direct routes and this and that. Kind of get back to the, because if you get too reliant on the GPS and you don't know how to do the standard radio navigation, you lose your GPS, you're lost, and you never want that to be a thing. There's Ellie. You got it. Off at Air Base, I forgot to tell you that is that it was the host for the Strategic Air Command during the Cold War. Yes, it was. Yeah, rollout is where it can really get out of hand. You got to make sure your tail wheel's locked and that you're on top of the rudder and especially the ailerons. And here comes Kingsman. Last to land, but certainly not least in the community. Thank you all for coming along with me on the trip. I'm incredibly grateful for every single one of you, for all the new follows, for just being in the chat, for keeping me company. Whether you lurked, talked, flew, anything. All your feedback is important to me. What you liked, what you didn't like, let me know. Head on over to Discord and say, hey, I thought you did this really well, and hey, this might need a little improvement here and there. I'm open to constructive feedback, guys. That helps me make a better show for you, and I'm just happy that you guys are coming along. I've been truly humbled, especially hanging out with me on a holiday, Easter Sunday. Many people would be with their families having dinner, and y'all spent some time with me, so that means an awful lot to me. So until next time, stand by, because we're gonna probably do a raid here if somebody's on. We can do that. So let me get that. So we'll do a raid after here, but until next time, we'll be back on Tuesday at 1900 Zulu. Murph's streaming tomorrow. I believe Jay Winokur's streaming tomorrow night and Tuesday night. So keep an eye on their streams. But until next time, until Tuesday, be good to each other. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next time.